All right. Sup, Nerdmigos? I'm the Jive Talking Nerd, John Norgrove. We've got Wife here. This is another review Jive. It's same bat day, different bat channel. It's Terrible Movie Tuesday.
Terrible Movie Tuesday!
It was my choice. I chose my favorite of all terrible movies, or at least one of my favorites amongst terrible movies. 2001's epic sci-fi comedy Evolution.
Yeah.
There's nothing sci-fi about this.
It's definitely comedy.
And it's real epic.
Know if it's epic. But the music.
The soundtrack in this, I forgot that like early 2000s epic. like action movie soundtrack starter pack. That was just like 9 scores that was in everything.
Yeah, everything is so
everything's
crazy
so epic in this. Okay.
Yeah.
I fucking love this movie to death. It's so dumb. It makes no sense. There's no science. The lines are fucking absurd. The characters are absurd. Like, nothing makes any sense in this movie, and it's the fucking best.
Yeah. Well, and it takes place in a time where you had, like, a ton of high-name actors.
Yeah.
In it.
This is,
like, you don't really do that in movies now, but, like, except for, like, Avengers. But,
this was just, like a
then,
shitty comedy, but with, like, a bunch of famous people.
ton of actors, like, a ton of famous people in movies. But you did then.
Yeah, you did then.
Yeah. So who do we got?
Let's
go
read
through a fun little list.
We're gonna read the thing, then we're gonna go through the stuff, and then we're gonna whatever the other bits. Okay, so a comedy that follows the chaos that ensues when a meteor hits the Earth, carrying alien life forms that give new meaning to the term "survival of the fittest." David Duchovny, Orlando Jones, Seann William Scott, and Julianne Moore are the only people standing between the aliens and world domination, which could be bad news for the Earth.
Could be bad news.
Yeah, it's that's not a great description.
So like a meteor hits Arizona, and these aliens
so Seann William Scott is shooting. Seann William Scott is shooting what I'm going to assume is a video application for the fire department?
No, I don't think he was filming anything.
I guess he's just practicing for the fire department. That makes it even weirder because
Seann William Scott is such an adorable
He's the
actor.
fucking best in this movie. Because he plays somebody that's so profoundly fucking stupid.
And he does in, well, a lot of things. But Seann William Scott is a hilarious actor.
Yeah, no, he's the best.
He's like super, he's super cool because I don't know that humble is really the right word, but he's very grateful to act in things. He, there's a couple of interviews that you can hear him talk about, like, I was, like, cast as Stifler in American Pie, and that was, like, my big thing, and every time I got a role after that, I'm like, I can't believe you guys hired me. So it's really cool, and you can, like, kind of see how excited he is to be acting in his performance in things, he's especially in this.
In general, a really genuine actor, right? He's very into the characters that he does, and I mean, so it's this thing where he has like a fucking blow-up doll or something, like a mannequin, in a burning like fucking shithouse barn,
like
a shed or a shack or something, and he like sets this thing on fire, and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna go in there, and he's like pulling it out, and he's trying to get, he's like giving it CPR, and he's just like, oh, we got, we're gonna, everybody back up, we gotta give her air out, like he's acting the whole thing out, and it's absurd because it's like the middle of the night, and it's just him
and you're
a
not
mannequin
sure if he's
and like
joking?
A burning barn, and you're not 100% certain if he's not like crazy or if this barn is just
it's not a barn. You keep saying barn, and it's
shed,
a shack. It's a shack.
If it's his or if it's just like something that was on the side of the road that he decided to burn down to play. Like it's so absurd. So this is happening, and a meteor strikes this shack, and
he narrowly escapes.
And it fucking totals his car.
No, it doesn't. His car it
gets like blown up.
It gets like blown up and goes
in the air.
200. At one point he says 200 feet in the air.
Yeah, 200 feet in the air. It was probably 20 feet in the air, but still.
Later on, he's driving.
He is driving.
The car.
Yeah. I guess he's driving.
So
like
it was not totaled because in a couple of scenes later, he's actually driving the same car.
He's like holding the door closed kind of car. But so this meteor crashes, whatever the fuck, right? So that's when we get into... So our two main characters are David Duchovny, which is Dr. Ira Kane, and Orlando Jones, who plays Harry Block. David Duchovny is Mulder.
Yeah.
He is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I love X-Files. And he's legitimately fucking hilarious in this.
Young, hot David Duchovny. Like,
he's like way younger in this.
Ever since X-Files, I have had that crush on David Duchovny. That was like a
everybody
crush.
had that crush.
It was...
Listen,
and
both
let me tell
of them, Mulder and Scully.
At one
both
point in time in this movie, he moons you. Which is...
Oh, yeah, you can see David Duchovny's ass in this.
Yeah.
But I always
that's
wonder...
not the first time I've seen it.
I always wonder,
but
is it a fake ass, though? Because, you know, that's a thing that they do.
Yeah, that is a thing.
Where they, like, you'll see somebody's ass, but it's really just, like, a silicone butt, because they don't want to show their butt, which is
super weird. Like, if you're already doing that, just do the thing.
Yeah.
No, at one point in time in
butt.
the movie, David Duchovny is wearing, like, a fireman's outfit.
Oh, yeah, hot fireman David Duchovny, dude? Like, what's up?
Hot fireman David Duchovny. That's it. That's all you need. Watch this movie. Good. Hot fireman David Duchovny. Young done.
Young basic comedy Orlando Jones. He's
everything
great.
that everybody says in this movie.
It's a fucking
like a
one-liner. This whole movie is just like action one-liners written together.
That about like
just,
90s.
Remember
and
like old-timey fantastic fucking movies?
It's like
so
a one-liner.
Good.
They're just like, hey.
Yeah. Oh my god. And there's this whole like backstory with David Duchovny's character.
How he used to be like in the military. Oh my god, you get to see him in like a military outfit too.
Oh yeah,
this movie is basically
it's really
so that you
David Duchovny cosplay.
Yeah, it's like David Duchovny hot cosplay. What's
they're
up?
like he's like I'll only be in this movie if I get 12 costume changes, and they're like that seems like a really
because he plays
thing. And he's like no 12.
Okay,
and
he plays
like, right,
hot professor.
Hot professor.
And then he does
military guy.
Hot military guy. And then he plays... I'm going to say it's like post-apocalyptic shoot 'em up because there is a point where they're running around a shopping mall with shotguns.
Yeah.
You know, so that's like badass.
Like bad boy shoot 'em up.
Bad boy shoot 'em up.
And then he has the fireman outfit.
Fireman David Duchovny, and then that's it. And then it's wet fireman David Duchovny. He's...
Yeah, well, it's not that...
liquidy. It's kind of gross, actually. Yeah. That's not
slime.
very...
Remember when movies had slime in them for just no reason?
Yeah.
It was like 10 years where slime was a thing.
It's because of Nickelodeon.
We had a texture as a thing.
Yeah.
But okay, so David Duchovny and Orlando Jones show up, right? And there's like the local cops there, and the local cops are like the quintessential local cops. They're just,
my gosh,
they're just like at one point in time they're like, we've got some stuff to do, and the cops are like, whoa, and they're like, it's very technical, sciencey stuff. Like it's like don't worry about it.
But here's the thing.
And he turns to the other cop and he's like, listen, it's very technical. It's okay. Go ahead, please, do your technical thing. And you're like, what are you, fucking idiot or something?
Now, here's the thing about this movie, though. This movie actually holds up really well. So this movie is like 19 years old. But this movie holds up really well to now, except for the part in the beginning with the cops and the meteor.
And they're like,
so there's like 3 cops down there, and like 2 of them are posing, and the other one's taking a picture. And we were like,
disposable cameras.
Yeah, with disposable old-timey cameras. So you had to advance the film, for those of you that like know what that is. The sound that made.
It's so great.
But like,
remember
if this was done
cameras, guys? Like, it was a whole thing. You would like. Do you ever remember have you ever gone to like a wedding or like a party where they're like, oh hey, welcome to the party. Here's a disposable camera. Like take pictures, do that thing.
Yeah.
Remember that shit?
Yeah.
That's just gone,
or, like,
dude.
Buying them when you were on vacation.
Yeah, and just having to haul them around, or like going and like turning it in,
sealing them in an envelope,
and then getting it back and just being like, okay. 8 of these photos are just
oh my gosh
white
and you
black
had to try and decide if you wanted like the fast photo processing or like the not so fast. And the not so fast photo processing was like
it was expensive
4 days.
Remember spending money on photography? Now it's like, hey, do you want a picture? I have 1,200 on my phone and like 8 million on my computer and in the fucking cloud.
Yeah, but anyway, most of this movie holds up really well.
Aside.
Most of this movie holds up really well to the time that we currently live in, which is plague time. But this particular scene does not, and that's only because of the way that they're posing for the pictures. Because right now, let's be real, it would be selfies.
It would be selfies. I would actually kind of love to see a remake of this movie.
Oh my god, it would be so fun.
With like a bunch of like modern
you know what? I don't
actors
think you can do
in
it. I don't think you can do
Chris
it.
Pratt,
this movie
maybe,
has like,
and the like.
This movie has like a lot of jokes in it that I just don't think that you could make now.
Remember when you could just make like
jokes?
Very inappropriate sexual jokes and not apologize for the sexism involved in it? Oh man, different times, dude.
Yeah.
Different fucking times.
Or like vaguely racist jokes. Not that racist jokes are great.
Like vaguely racist jokes. Yeah. It was
when you could
2001,
smoke in movies,
a simpler time.
Smoking in this.
Oh my god,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like blatantly smoking in the movie too.
Yeah. So like then the military shows up and the dad from Modern Family is in it. Not Al Bundy, the other dad.
The soft one.
The one that was in Dawn of the Dead. And they show up.
Oh yeah, he was in Dawn of the Dead. Damn. Good for him.
For me, that's always the thing that he's in. Like, I know he was in like a million seasons of Modern Family, but he's always like that asshole from Dawn of the Dead.
Oh no, he's always that weird dad from Modern Family.
So then like the military shows up, and like Julianne Moore is like in the military.
Oh my god, Julianne Moore.
She's the like head director of the CDC.
She's like the co-director of the CDC or some shit like that. Julianne Moore, bam. She looks
fantastic.
She looks fucking fantastic in this. Also, she has a character trait in this movie that is neither explained nor addressed ever.
Ever. Not
where
once.
she just fucking falls on her face sometimes.
All the time.
She's like walking up some stairs,
super
falls
clumsy,
on her face.
Falls on her face.
Gets out of the fire truck, falls on her face.
Yes.
Crawls through the cave, falling on her face.
Into a car, falling on her face.
It's fucking absurd.
No
and
sense.
everybody's just like, oh, okay. Do you need some help? And she's like, no, I'm fine. And then they just move past it.
But no one's
and I'm
like,
like, are we not going to
hey.
address that this bitch has like an inner ear problem? Go to a doctor, honey. You have an infection.
Yeah.
Like, you're just off balance.
Like, you're in charge of the CDC. What is wrong with you?
Fucking eardrops. Man, what are you fucking doing over there?
So then, like,
so
the
absurd.
Military and our main characters have beef, and then the military kicks them out. But they're like, "You can't take us out. We're gonna go rogue. You can't take our badges away. We're gonna solve this case
do whatever I want.
anyway."
And then splash cut to a court scene.
Out of nowhere, you're just like, do you know how long it takes for things to go to
fucking absurd.
court?
And it's not like jurors or people or whatever, right? And like, so you know they're like we discovered it. We should have the rights. And the military's like, these guys are fucking assholes, right? And they work for a piece of shit school. And the judge is just like,
I went to that school.
I went to that school, and you're like, they're gonna win. And then they're like, they asked David Duchovny, Dr. Ira Kane, can you sit down over here? And they're like, yeah. And he's like, all right, so what did you used to do for the military? And he's like, I used to like invent cures and shit. And they're like, oh, like, why were you kicked out? And he's like, I don't know, maybe they just didn't like me no more. And they're like, do you think it may have something to do with your anthrax cure? And he's like, I mean, maybe, I'm not really certain. And they're like, you want to talk about that? And he's like, not really. And they're like, all right.
And they're like,
what
tell
the
us
fuck
what
was it?
They're like, tell us what the side effects were, and it was like
he goes
every
through
side effect
the most
that you can
horrifying
think of
shit.
from every drug
What do they call it?
The
The Kane terrors or something?
Kane's madness.
Kane's madness.
Yeah.
They're like, oh,
or Kane's
it was
insanity or something like that.
Fondly known as Kane's insanity. Because you were just
what?
like dying slowly and suffering and whatever.
Yeah.
So they don't win the
so
fucking
he didn't
case.
Cure anthrax.
He didn't cure. Well, no, technically they didn't get anthrax.
That's right. They
so he did cure anthrax.
Get
but
anthrax. Yeah.
I mean, maybe anthrax is better
than what they had.
Than what they had. Like maybe
that sounds like
you know.
So they also find like Seann William Scott wants to be a firefighter, but he's the manager of a pool for a country club.
Or maybe just a towel boy. Listen, they called him a manager, but really, other than collecting towels and making drinks.
Yeah, it might be that thing where they give you like fancy titles to make you feel better.
You're like the executive of towel maintenance.
Oh my god, I worked at a place where every employee was CEO. Because you were a customer experience officer.
Oh, man.
No thanks, retail.
That's that shit's evil, dog.
It was on our name tags and everything.
It was on
our name tags.
I would just walk in and be like, "Excuse me, I'm looking for no, you know what? I'm gonna laugh in your face. I saw your name tag.
And our stupid uniform shirts.
Get out.
So
My bad.
It was awful. So
Seann William Scott, whilst working at like an evening mixer or whatever, his boss is trying to like
He's trying to get
slam
some.
an old golf honey. I'm trying to think of a good euphemism here. I can't find one. But he's trying to get some from this like old lady. He's also like an old gentleman, so whatever. But he's like trying to get some from this old lady, and
ends up getting
a crocodile from
by
the lake
a crocodile
murders him or something.
Alien monster thing,
right?
Yeah.
And so like they chase it down. Seann William Scott catches it, brings it to David Duchovny and Orlando Jones, and it's just like, hey, look what I found.
And all of a sudden, now they're teammates.
Yeah. And
so
then,
the three of these guys
team up,
are
and
basically teaming up
to fucking catch stuff. They run into Orlando Jones' ex-wife, which is Sarah Silverman.
That's not Orlando Jones. That's David
Duchovny. Sorry. David Duchovny's ex-wife, which is Sarah Silverman, which is absurd. It's the only scene she's in, by the way, in this movie.
And she's basically trying to take her shirt off the whole time.
Fucking nuts in it. It's so funny. He's just like, well, you owe me those shirts. And he's like being a dick. And she's like, and she's like taking this shirt off. And like, Seann William Scott's like, this is gonna be the best. You know, it's fucking fantastic.
It's so weird. You're just like, why is this happening?
And then it's over. They follow the cops to the next scene, and we never think of Sarah Silverman again.
Yeah.
It's just like it's the weirdest little throwaway scene with her.
There's so many people in cameos in this movie.
Oh my god,
it's absurd. And then at some point, you get to meet the governor of Arizona, and it's Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
And not only is it Dan Aykroyd, but at one point in time during his governor scenes in this movie, because there's multiple, he shows
towards the
up
end,
wearing the same jacket that he wears
big,
in trading places.
Like pelt jacket.
Guys,
listen,
it's the same jacket.
I think that he just owns that jacket.
I think that's just his jacket.
He just likes that jacket.
Dan Aykroyd,
or maybe Dan Aykroyd thinks that power equals
was such a playa that he could wear his own jacket. He's like, I don't need you, costume person.
I guess.
I'm just gonna show up in my own jacket.
He's fantastic in this. First of all, I'm pretty certain he makes up like
everything.
At least
and
5
also,
words.
I think Seann William Scott does too. There's a point in time in the movie where Seann William Scott is in a shopping mall. And there's a giant pterodactyl.
On the microphone trying to attract. He's like, Kaka,
Kaka, Kaka. And he's got a microphone. Back when you used to have like concerts in shopping malls.
Remember the old days?
Not fondly, yes.
And Orlando Jones is just like, listen, man, we've talked about this before. The Kakas, they don't work. And he's like, oh, okay.
And then he
goes to start walking away, and he starts like singing a love ballad, and like.
And you see everybody like roll their eyes, and they're like, let's get out of here.
This fucking guy.
And then all of a sudden, the
pterodactyl comes out.
Pterodactyl, apparently bad love ballads are its like song.
Yeah, pterodactyls, they sing bad love ballads.
So it comes back, and then they shoot this pterodactyl with shotguns that they stole from the sporting goods store in the mall.
Yeah.
Guys, these are not cops. None of this.
Oh yeah, and then I don't know. It just goes to the next scene, and I guess that was taken care of. Did they leave the guns on the ground?
Did they just set them down? They still had the tags, like for sale tags.
Would
that shop have to?
Do you have to fill out paperwork if you take a gun but use it to save lives from pterodactyls? I
don't know.
What's the papaperwork on that? Or is this one of those you just set it on the ground and then you leave and people are just like, I don't know what happened. The guns floated out here. Freedom. Yeah.
They just all of a sudden were transported to the next scene. So then the military is like, well, obviously this alien thing is a problem, so we should blow it up. That's literally the answer that the military has in every single movie.
Just like, you fix this motherfucking problem. Right?
Yeah.
Because, like, the aliens, they start off as
show him a simulation,
and they evolve. It's evolution that's the main
And they're like, in 2 months, it'll take over the U.S., and then we're all extinct. And I was just like, there's a lot.
All of the one-liners.
There's more people in the world than are in the U.S.?
We only care about America.
We only care about America. Even in 2001. So then they decide to napalm it. However, heat from like napalm or whatever.
So fire is what activates the cell growth or
cell growth of this meteor.
Science stuff, man. Oh boy.
The science in this is sketchy at best.
It's not really science, it's just words. I feel like this is what they did, was they wrote a movie about an alien invasion, and then when they hired David Duchovny, they're like, you know science words. And
because you were in X-Files.
yeah, why? And they're like, okay, so there's a scene where you use a t-shirt to figure it out. You need to ad-lib all of the sci-fi stuff in that. And he's like, I'm sorry, what? And they're like, I don't fucking know. You do it. We're shooting it right now. You're on camera. Go. And so he's just
absurd.
like, he's like, listen, we're carbon-based life forms. And if you go like down 2 and to the left 1, you get arsenic.
Our poisonic is...
And arsenic's poisonous to us. And you're like, all right, okay, yeah, it is.
And he's like,
a lot of stuff is poisonous, but
they're like, so these organisms
things
are nitrogen.
So if you do the same pattern, it's selenium.
Don't give it up. Don't give it out. Don't do it.
And
don't do it. Don't say it.
Just
keep it a secret.
Why?
Why, guys?
What the fuck?
The answer to defeating these aliens is something so absurd that I don't even want to tell you. I want you to watch this movie and find out.
Do yourself a fucking favor and watch this goddamn
actually,
movie.
the effects in this movie held up relatively well.
Other than like maybe 3 or 4 scenes.
Yeah, there's some CGI
the effects
scenes
are really good.
where you're just like, ugh.
For the most part, the CGI is not too bad. The practical effects are fantastic.
Like
what
moth
is happening here?
in here?
Moth! Stop doing that. Go away. Go away with you. Okay. So we have a tiny moth now. It's just part of the house.
When you live in the woods, you get moths in your house sometimes.
You also get spiders.
Huge
fucking
spiders. And sometimes scorpions.
Not too often.
This isn't the season. This is the season for giant...
This is giant spider season. Scorpion season's like later.
Giant spider season is right before mosquito hawk season, which is right before actual mosquito season.
Oh my fucking god, the mosquitoes out here. Like, it's not that much of a deal for me. They're mostly just in the way.
No, it's
They really
the
eat her
worst.
up. Mosquitoes come into me, and then they drink it, and then they just fucking burst into flames.
Yeah.
So they
but
know.
They come to me and they're like, oh.
Don't drink that guy. The alcohol content's too high. And he's like, I am so thirsty. I can't. I'm going to risk it. And he drinks me and just boof. So.
Yeah, no. And then they find me and they're like, oh, what a delicious meal. Let's all feast.
I've told her the solution is the drink.
Either way.
Rampant alcohol abuse.
The effects in this movie were really good.
And there's a lot of use of practical effects,
obviously,
which is nice.
It's 2001, so it's like a super long time ago.
Modern movies could learn from that.
Yeah, but the actual effects were actually not too bad. In fact, there was a point where I said, you know what, the actual effects in this aren't too bad. And then immediately,
a bad
shut my mouth,
scene.
A bad CGI scene happened.
Yeah, it was real good. There's not a lot
fantastic.
of them, but you know, they're there. Whatever.
I would give this like 4 meteorites out of like
alien sphincters.
5 alien sphincters.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this 4 out of 5 also.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it could. I guess it could fare for a little tightening. Really, the problem is that you kind of can't make rational improvements on an irrational production like this, because this movie doesn't make sense and is unapologetic and it just is. There are times in this movie when you are watching it and like somebody's doing something and like either David Duchovny says something or Orlando Jones says something and you're just like, yeah, I guess a person could say that in this situation. I mean, it's not superhuman. Like, it's a little weird, non-logical shit, but fucking sure. Yeah. Go ahead. Why the fuck not? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm just like, oh, that's what we're doing now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
Yeah. Type
Let's
is his
see.
name. The dad.
Oh yeah. Oh, and little baby Farva is in this. Little baby Farva.
Yeah. This is the 2. Yeah, this is just an all-star cast. Julianne Moore's fantastic in it. Ted Levine is fantastic in it. We've got Ethan Suplee and Michael Ray Bauer. This is really, it's a 2001, I mean, they call it a sci-fi comedy. It's barely sci, it's barely fi, but it's a solid comedy, capital C for comedy.
Yeah.
So, like, you gotta watch it. It's one of those movies where it's absurd and, like, if you're in, like, a serious... If it's like serious time for you or whatever,
don't watch this.
You're gonna watch this and be like very angry the whole time.
Yeah, but if you want like a lighthearted, throwaway kind of like I don't want to say feel good comedy, but a lighthearted kind of fun
barbecue comedy. You know what barbecue comedy is? You know what barbecue comedy is?
No.
All right, or like a porch comedy. You ever been to like you ever go over to like a house party on like outside in somebody's backyard, and they're like barbecuing, and there's like maybe or maybe not a pool, and like people are all just kind of hanging out and drinking and eating barbecue and shit, and they got like a TV in the backyard, and there's just like some fucking shit on.
Yeah, okay.
Right. This is that kind of movie.
Like a popcorn comedy where it kind of like there's
that
no
kind of
real
comedy that makes you want to drown in popcorn.
I mean, I'm pretty much okay with drowning in popcorn.
That's fair. Yeah. It's mostly just butter and corn.
Some popcorn.
So.
Yeah. That's really what popcorn is. It's just oil and corn. Good job.
Yeah. I figured it out, guys. I cracked the matrix.
He cracked the code.
Yeah. Fucking D-Rez out of here or some shit. I'm gonna have to make
some popcorn.
Yeah, there you go.
I have to get out the big old popcorn pot for it because we don't have microwave popcorn.
Buy microwave popcorn.
Because I can't eat it because I'm allergic to it because it's all made with soybean oil.
Yeah.
So...
It's weird. Popcorn's like a whole fucking thing here now.
Yeah, I have like one of those big pots that you put the popcorn into, and it's got like a lid, and the lid has like a thing, and then it's got like a stir, and you like turn a crank and it stirs it, but it's like a soup pot size.
Very weird.
It's very weird. My dad gave it to me when I was, I don't know, probably like 20. And
yeah, it's about 1,200 years old, so that makes sense.
4,000 years old.
It's very old. It's probably primarily made of lead. But you know what? I guess it makes okay popcorn.
But you know what? It makes some good popcorn.
It could fare to have more butter, but I don't care how much butter you put on it. Popcorn could always fare to have more butter.
Popcorn
more
could
butter and more salt. There's a reason I'm a fat guy, guys. It's the butter and the salt.
Yeah.
That's a total lie. It's the beer.
Because I like
Have
popcorn.
you seen
Let's
Evolution?
Talk about some popcorn.
Did you watch Evolution when you were younger? It came out in 2001, so it's like 19 years old. It's old enough to be an adult.
But not to drink. What's
not
up?
to drink. Not yet.
Not
3
yet.
years. We're gonna do another review of this. See if it's still good. It will be. Don't worry. Yeah. What did you think about this movie? Like this video. Comment below. Tell us what you thought about this. If you have other terrible movies you could suggest, or possibly comedies. I love watching comedies, so I'm a big comedy person.
Share it.
Share this video
with your friends.
Make our problems, make our dumb fucking faces other people's fucking problems. That's the tagline of this channel. Nerd Jive. Make our fucking dumb faces other people's fucking problems. I was gonna go with
share the love, but I guess that works.
Yeah, don't.
And then subscribe so that you can watch more of this.
Yeah, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe to this channel. Do all of the stuff the other YouTubers tell you to do.
Yeah.
But do that for us.
Yeah, you guys are watching a YouTube video.
Because I feel like I'm missing something, and some people mention a bell, but I don't really know what that does.
And I feel like saying ring my bell means something else. So I'm not going to say it.
It does. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, either way, I've been John Norgrove. This has been Wife. This fucking movie. I love this fucking movie. This has been Review Jive. We're watching Evolution. David
Terrible
Duchovny
movie Tuesdays.
Is a fantastic, fantastic man. Orlando Jones does a fantastic job. This is just, it's a fucking great movie. Watch this movie. Rock and roll.
Yeah, I'm going to go with rock and roll.
Rock and roll!